Laia. Welcome to this yoga class designed to help you release tension on your lower back as well as on your hips. A gentle class that's going to be floor-based and in which we're going to be exploring shapes that can really help you find some release. So it's ideal if you're someone that sits a lot, perhaps you're someone that wakes up fairly stiff, or maybe you just want a moment to breathe, to be present with your body, and to allow your nervous system to regulate. Listen to yourself and modify, choose different variations, rest when needed. I'm gonna start lying down because y'all, it's Saturday and I'm gonna keep my blocks nearby, but just bring yourself to lie down on the ground. You could stretch your legs out, or perhaps you'd rather bring your feet flat to the floor, a little bit wider than your hips, and allow your knees to rest toward one another. Notice if there's a deep arc on your low back, gently press it toward your mat, and your hands could rest on your low belly. You could also stretch them out to the sides. Either way, just give yourself a moment to settle and to arrive. Perhaps you massage the back of your head as you move it a little bit from side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath. Inhale. And on your exhalation, see if you can bring yourself to stillness, letting your body relax toward the earth, even if it's just 1% more. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, allowing your abdomen to expand, your rib cage, your chest. Exhale to let your body soften and relax a little bit more toward the ground. One more just like that. Breathe in. And breathe out. Just give yourself a moment to arrive and to notice how you feel. Let yourself hear the sounds around you. Notice the temperature of the environment, but draw your attention closer and closer to yourself. Noticing the way in which your body is placed onto the earth. Just noticing how you feel right here, right now, physically, mentally, maybe energetically as well. Deep breath in. Long, slow breath out, surrendering just a little bit more. On your next inhalation, begin to stretch your arms overhead or maybe to the sides, depending on the space that you have, depending on what you need. Maybe you extend your legs away from you for a moment as well, taking a full body stretch. Inhale deeply. And on your exhalation, relax your entire body to the ground. If your feet aren't flat on the floor, bring them flat to the floor, wider than your hips, maybe as wide as your mat. Your knees face up toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhalation, both knees slowly go toward the left. They don't have to go very far. Keep your right shoulder grounded. Inhale, bring yourself back through center, gently engaging the core. Exhale, allow both knees to go over toward the right. Maybe your gaze goes a little bit to the left. And start to go from side to side a few times at your own pace. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the right, gaze to the left. One more on each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come back through center. Gently press your low back toward the earth as you heel toe your feet toward one another. Bring your feet parallel. And then slowly draw your right knee toward your chest. And perhaps the weight of the leg is sufficient for you and you keep your hands overhead or to the sides. You could also catch underneath your right knee or over the shin. And perhaps for a moment you just remain here, or you could create movement, maybe side to side or circles one way and then the other. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And exhale. Lower your right foot next to the left, plant it firmly onto the ground. Now bring your arms next to your body, facing your palms down. Press down through the feet, through the hands, the arms, the shoulders, and even the back of the head. And perhaps stay here. Or on your next inhalation, let your hips lift off the floor. They don't have to lift very high. And on the exhalation, if you lifted the hips, slowly lower them back down, lowering one vertebra at a time, allowing the low back to continue pressing onto the earth. Now draw your left knee to the chest. And again, choose what you want to do. Maybe you leave the leg there by itself, or you support it by interlacing the hands under your knee or over your shin. Movement or stillness, they're both valid, so choose what you want for the next couple of breaths. Letting yourself inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose or the mouth. Making sure you switch directions if you create circles. Inhale and exhale. Release your left foot next to the right. Arms next to your body, palms face down. Stay here, or on the inhalation, once again, lift your hips up. Pressing the feet firmly onto the ground. Energize through the thighs. Energize a little bit through the glutes as well. And on the exhalation, slowly lower yourself back down. Now press through the low back and lift your feet off the floor, bringing the knees toward the chest. You can stay here or extend your legs up toward the ceiling. You can extend your arms up toward the ceiling if you'd like, and take a few circles here with your ankles and your wrists one way. And then the other. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lower your knees back down. Hug them into the chest. The hands could be underneath the knees or over the shins. Maybe you move a little side to side. Maybe you take a few circles, and your knees could go the same way, or they could go opposite ways. The point is, though, is that if you do circles, you make sure you go both ways, yeah? Breathe and notice how this feels. Perhaps there is a place that feels especially good and you let yourself stay there a little bit longer, as if you were massaging it. A couple more breaths wherever you are. And then slowly place your feet back to the ground. Start to roll toward either side. Perhaps you use your bottom arm as a pillow and let yourself curl in. Take a deep breath in and out. Now stagger your legs, and with the help of your hands, press yourself up and remain sideways. So your feet are to one side. And then take your, for me it's my left hand, to the floor. Reach your right arm up. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lean toward the feet. Again, you don't have to go very far. Just notice how that feels. And for some people, keeping the legs staggered is what feels good. For some people, bringing your right foot in front may feel better. Yeah. So choose what works for your body. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring your hand back down, lean back a little bit, and sway your legs to the other side. Again, you could stagger them or stack them, so one's in front of the other. And then bring your right hand to the outside of the leg or to the top. Inhale, lift your left arm up, and on your exhalation, lean toward the feet. Notice if your heart kind of caves in, lift your chest a little bit more. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Press yourself up, lean back a little bit and bring your feet in front a little bit wider than your hips. And just take a moment to move your knees a little side to side. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your right shin in front of the left, crossing at the shins instead of at the ankles. So heel-toe your feet until they start to be underneath opposite knees, and then let the knees draw open, yeah? You can keep your hands on the floor in front of you or to the sides. Inhale to lift your chest. And on your exhalation, let your heart go a little bit forward. For some of us, using your blocks in front may be a great way to let yourself relax a little bit forward. For some folks, the forehead may find the blocks or the floor. One's not better than the other, so just do what works for your body right now and what feels right. One more breath, inhale and exhale. On your next inhalation, slowly bring yourself back up. Now lean back enough that you are solid on your sitting bones, and then draw your right knee in. You could hug the right knee in and gently move your hip side to side, or if you want to, you could grab your foot, and maybe you take a moment here to move your ankle in circles one way and then the other, or you could kind of cradle the leg and sway it side to side. Just notice what feels good for you. Keep your spine long. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. Now you could repeat and bring your right shin in front of the left, crossing at the shins, or this time maybe you bring your right foot on top of the left knee and then slide your left foot forward so it's underneath the right knee. Yeah? If there's gaps here, great place to use your blocks to fill in the gaps. Yeah? So there's several ways to do this. One is the way that we already did. Yeah. Now you could stay here, keeping your chest lifted, noticing the sensation that arises through the legs. Or perhaps you let your chest lead forward and once again, fold. You're using your blocks in front of you if you'd like. One more breath. And on your next inhalation, bring yourself back up. Lean back and cross the knees, creating a little bit of movement, windshield wipers with the legs. And we'll switch sides. So this time, bring your left shin in front of the right, crossing at the shins. Flex the feet. Feet are underneath opposite knees. Lift your chest to breathe in. Perhaps stay, or if you want to switch the sensation, for some it's more intense, for some it's just different. Go forward. Use your blocks or don't. Choose what serves you, not what you think you should be doing. One more breath. And then slowly press yourself up. Lean back a bit. And once again, grab the leg, maybe at the knee and at the foot, and move it side to side. You could also choose to either massage the foot or move the ankle around. And then slowly either place your left foot on top of the right knee and coming into fire log, or once again bringing the shin in front. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to stay or to fold. And breathe. One more breath. And on your next inhalation, press yourself up. If you went forward, lean back to undo the cross of the legs. Sway both legs around and bring yourself toward a tabletop position, hands and knees. Your hands spread wide and they're underneath your shoulders, and your knees are about hips distance apart. You could tuck your toes and stretch your feet a little bit, or you could point them and stretch the tops of the feet. There's just different options, yeah? And from here, you could stay still or start to take tiny circles with your hips around your knees and with your shoulders around your wrists. Letting the breath and the movement come together as you allow yourself to notice how your hips feel, how your legs feel, how your low back feels. Inhale. Exhale. Pause the movement at the center and switch the direction of the circles. Breathing in. Breathing out again. If you want to pause anywhere to give yourself a little bit of extra love, feel free to do that. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Pause at the center. Now bring your big toes to touch, separate your knees, and send your hips back toward the heels, as little or as much as you want. If there's a gap between the heels and the hips, use one of your blocks. Lengthen your arms a little bit forward. Your forehead could find a block or the floor, or it could float. Find stillness or let yourself sway a little side to side as you breathe into the back body, as you breathe deeply into the low back and into the hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely to soften just a bit. One more inhale. And exhale. Allowing the knees to remain wide, press yourself up and begin to roll over the knees toward the thighs. Inhale, press your hips forward, lift your chest, open up through the front body. Roll your shoulders down and away from the ears, lift your chest, lift your chin. And on the exhalation, roll back into your child's pose. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to roll forward, move at your own pace, roll through the thighs. Lift your chest, open up. And exhale, bring yourself back to Balasana, Child's Pose. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your torso up. Draw your knees toward one another, sitting on your heels for a moment, and then lift yourself away from the heels, hands to your low back, fingertips face down toward the floor. Draw the shoulder blades toward one another. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your gaze. And on the exhalation, gently press your hips forward, open through the heart. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, spine comes back to neutral, hands to the floor, shift your weight forward. Inhale. And on the exhalation, lower yourself down to your abdomen, make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead down. You could stay here or draw your right knee out to the side. And you could stay with the forehead on the hands, or lift yourself up by taking the elbows underneath the shoulders, press down through the hands. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhalation, lower down. Extend the right leg next to the left. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Maybe you wiggle your hips side to side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Draw your left knee out to the side this time. Notice how that feels on your hip. And maybe you stay here. Or perhaps you choose to lift yourself up to the elbows, bringing your upper body into a Sphinx pose. Notice the sensations. One more breath. And then slowly lower yourself down. Extend your left leg next to the right. Maybe bend both knees and windshield wiper your legs or crisscross them. And then eventually roll onto your back. Bring both knees toward your chest, hugging them in. Feel free to sway side to side for a moment. And then open your arms out to the sides, maybe in a T or cactus. Inhale. Bring your toes to the floor. Lift your hips and move them to the right. And then allow your knees to go toward the left. You could use one of your blocks either between the knees or on the outside of your left knee. Ground into the right shoulder and breathe. One more breath. And then slowly return to center. Realign your hips for a moment. If you're using your block, take it to the other side. And then lift your hips up. As you inhale, move your hips to the left. Drop them back down. And as you exhale, allow the knees to go toward the right. Keep your shoulders grounded and your gaze could go a little bit to the left. Breathe. Soften. And then once you're ready, return to center. Stretch your legs and your arms up toward the ceiling. Roll your ankles, roll your wrists. Maybe shake if that feels good. And then I invite you to choose what serves you right now. So consider what you have coming up for the rest of your day. And perhaps what you need right now is to settle, relax, and ground. And then I would recommend Shavasana, allowing your entire body to settle onto the earth. Or perhaps if what you need is to energize yourself, give yourself a couple of moments, but then with your gaze soft or your eyes closed, Perhaps you choose to come up to a seated position. Either choice is fine, just choose what works for you. Giving yourself a few moments to integrate the practice, to notice your breath and attune to it. To recognize the beauty within you and around you. Take a deep inhalation through the nose, letting it expand front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Hold this breath at the top and take another sip. Let it go. Whether you're seated or lying down, start to bring movement back into your fingers, your toes. Feel free to stretch out, to yawn, to make sound. Eventually, you will meet in a seated position, so take your time to get there. Perhaps you sit on a block or a blanket or a pillow. Allow your spine to elongate, your shoulders to relax, your jaw to unclench. And perhaps your hands gently rest on your lap or your knees. Perhaps you rather bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your abdomen. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. In for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. And hold for 4. One more by yourself. Now take a really deep breath in and sigh out. Keep your hands where they are, or if it resonates with you, bring your palms together in front of your heart as a gesture of unity, as a gesture of gratitude. And repeat within or out loud, thank you, thank you, thank you. To your body, to your mind, to your energy, to the life force. May you have a beautiful rest of your day. Be well. All right, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this yoga class for low back and hips. It's a great class to help you release the tension. So if you're someone that sits a lot, if you're someone that wakes up stiff, I hope that this has served you. Remember to move your body. Remember to take care of yourselves. Also take care of each other and be well. Bye, everybody.